Welcome to Two Board Ladies.
Virtual. I mean, it's
Yeah,
virtual for everybody, but not normally us.
that's correct. This is our
Yeah.
second kick at the can, though.
Yeah,
And I did like the sound quality the first time we did it.
I did too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I think for our listeners, it's a win.
me. Yeah, it might be a better experience.
Yeah.
We've had some not so great experiences.
Audio
Yeah.
is not my background.
No,
So,
me neither.
but whatever. People are listening. They're liking
Yeah,
it. Keep moving forward. So I'm Angie.
I'm Karen. Nice to see
Uh,
it.
it's nice to see you too. It's been a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll just get right into it. I have not prepared. So we'll just do a wiggity wiggity whack weekend review. It's been there, done that, but I like it.
It's still good.
It is. Oh yeah, you can bring
Classic.
that one back anytime.
Yeah, absolutely.
People are talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Sure.
100%.
What's that?
100%.
100%. Do you want to go first? Or you want me to?
Uh, Trying to remember if I have anything to talk about. I guess when did we talk last?
We would have spoken. Flew out last Monday. So I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, I guess, a week and a half.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so I mean, not a whole lot other than it has warmed up a bit.
Yeah,
So
you
we have lost some snow. We did have a nice day yesterday, so I spent a good chunk of the afternoon outside. Remember all that wood that Brian had dropped off in my driveway, and I was
know.
supposed to move it before the end of the summer or before fall came, and I
I
never
remember that.
did. And then it
Yeah.
blocked off the garage and the tarp shed for Chris all winter. So yeah, I moved it all yesterday,
Oh, nice.
stacked it all up. Now I just have to cut it all, but I should be set for most of the summer, I think.
Yeah, that was quite a bit of wood.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
for our listeners, I think we've talked about it, but you're kind of like a pyromaniac when it comes
a
to
little
having
bit, yeah.
yes. And so the amount of wood that Karen goes through is, I would say, well, obscene seems strong, but I think it gives our
Yes.
listeners a really good sense of how much wood you go through.
Well, I mean, so you need to have some heat coming from it.
Well, I'm not upset about the amount of wood you're burning, and it's not like you're cutting down living trees.
No, I'm not.
You're, everybody knows you
I'm
love a good pallet.
salvaging.
Yes.
I'm salvaging what would end up in the dump.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm sad because I missed the first fire of the year. Um,
Well, to be fair, you didn't miss a whole lot because the temperature did drop fairly good in the evening.
that's
And so Chris had barbecued some burgers for supper, and then I went out right after to start the fire. And I had my sweats and a sweater on. And I'm like, oh, it's cooler than it was a couple hours ago when I was out here in a t-shirt. But yeah, so made the fire and got it up burning good. And then Brendan Troy arrived, and then Chris was out, and Chris is like, yeah, although he wasn't feeling 100% either. So he lasted about 10 minutes. Troy was happy to go inside with him. And then yeah, then Brandon and I just sat around. Although I do have to admit, I didn't go in and get a jacket, which I probably should have had. So instead, I just stood beside the fire and rotated my
Bro,
front and back.
why didn't you use your heated chair? Oh no, it's Brenda that has the heated chair.
Yeah, no, well, I have my heated seat, but it also would have required me to go inside. And if I was going to go inside to get that, I would have just grabbed a jacket at the same time. But I'm like, I'm not that bad. Like, you know,
Yeah. I
although when
mean,
I came inside, I did do one of those.
now I'm even more sad because that's a good
Yeah,
evening. Ooh, okay.
yeah. Then we sat and watched the hockey games last night. So, and we're chatting now, and the hockey game is on. Do you have it playing somewhere?
Don't. Today has been a weird day where all I did was work. I feel very out of sorts. Though I've been getting updates about the Blue Jays who suck big time, big time, big suck. So, well, I haven't. Who's playing right now?
Washington.
Oh, in Montreal.
Mm-hmm.
And I do have a wager on that. We could talk about that a little bit. That happened in the last week. So
Yeah.
Troy,
Yep.
friend, is not to take. We can go back to your week right
Oh, that
after.
was about it. Yeah.
So
I
before,
went to skating. I went to skating without you. Sent you a
yeah,
picture of the empty bench.
looks sad.
But then I didn't make it Thursday because I really wasn't feeling good Thursday. But it sounds like there really wasn't many kids there because Becky was gone too. But yeah, other than that, I had a fairly quiet week.
Fair
So
enough.
you can go ahead.
Okay, so I had a few things going on, I guess. So before I left, we got together because it was Easter, right?
Yep.
So Easter happened, and as we do, the families got together and had a nice meal. And then Troy and I got to talking. I was in a mood that evening, kind of combative and having a good time. Anyway, Troy, for our listeners who don't know, is a hardcore Montreal Canadiens fan, and I am a Washington Capitals fan, and they just so happened to be playing in the first round of the playoffs. And he was telling me they were going to sweep the Cap, and it turned out the Capitals are now leading the series 2 games to 1. So they won the first 2 games at home, and Montreal's now won the third game at home, and they're playing tonight. But anyway, we made a friendly little wager, and so whoever wins gets to create a very fancy necklace with the emblem on that the other person has to wear for a week. So I'm looking forward to that. I have to admit, Troy's not a lot of fun to tease because when the Capitals went up 1-0 or 2-0, I sent a picture or a little video of a person welding, and I wrote, "Me working on Troy's necklace."
Which I loved so much.
And then, and then your husband's funny because he's like, "Nothing." Troy's like, "I wasn't even watching." So anyway,
Well, that's it. He doesn't watch. He gets too amped up, so he doesn't watch. Like it was on even the game Toronto was playing Ottawa last night, and yeah, Troy was just like shoot the puck. That's so funny.
well, forward to his macaroni necklace, Washington Capitals bejeweled necklace he's gonna have to wear, and I am gonna make special trips out to the airport just to make sure he's wearing it all the time. So then after I flew to the city on Easter Monday because I'm starting my little spurt here down south. This is still part of my regular job, but things are starting to ease into the project. Start doing some workshops, but so I worked out a 360 all week last week outside of Wednesday because on Wednesday Abby came down for Frontiers Got Talent, so her band played a Philip Phillips song, something about a shadow. I'd not heard the song before, but they did a very good job. It was a
I
nice day
heard
with.
Abby was singing.
Yes, she was. Yeah, yeah,
Awesome.
yeah. She was very. She wasn't impressed with how high they had to go to sing the song, and I'm like, well, it's not a high pitched song. She's like, I know, but we go to this whatever octave when we're doing the chorus, so we have to go higher when we're doing the verses. And she's like, it's just not comfortable. I was like, whatever. So anyway, it sounded really good. They did a great job. There was a lot of good, talented kids there. I left as soon as Abby was done though, because they were running behind, and it was just I'm waking up at 5 in the morning so I can get downtown before traffic starts because
Mm-hmm.
I plan my life around traffic patterns now, which I don't know. That seems really lame, but whatever. What else happened? So did that, worked all week, and then my mom's birthday is this weekend, so it took. So I'm like, you guys want to go to this restaurant called Hearth? Really good Italian food in the St. Patel area. So shout out for Hearth because it is amazing. If somebody is in Winnipeg and they want to try it, do it. I think it's on I don't know, St. Anne's or St. Mary's. Anyway, couldn't get in until 9 p.m. My parents are too old to handle 9 p.m. So let's do Chinese. And there's a place on St. Anne's as well. So I take them there. They want to eat at 4. Fine, whatever. Take them there. They stop doing dine in at 4. So I'm just like, my mom's like, let's just go to Smitty's. I'm like, oh my gosh, this really gone downhill. Like, right? I want meal. I wanted to take her out, but whatever. They were good with Smitty's because they were going to the keg today, just the two of them. So I took my mom out to Smitty's, but I also had a nice full day with her shopping. And so I bought a belt because I needed it for work, and I got it for $4.
Ooh.
Right? And then I don't want to wear dress shoes. I've decided I'm not going to wear dress shoes. So I bought some Nikes that I think will go just fine with dress pants.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'll be wearing those to work going forward because dress shoes hurt my feet and I refuse
Yeah.
to deal with it. It's not worth it. What else? Oh, and then, yeah, I've been cards, lots and lots of sports cards. So been opening the Tim Hortons cards while I've been down here. My dad got me 2 boxes, so I opened one box and the other box will wait for Alistair. But yeah, so I don't know. It's weird being down here. I miss everybody. Miss my friends. I miss the kids. I miss Roy. It was almost worse having Abby here for a day and then going. But all in all, I think make the best of it. I was supposed to look at electric bikes this weekend. I am off tomorrow, so I think I'll go and take a look at that because my big plan is to start electric biking downtown through the summer. We'll see. It's a lot of money for something I'm not confident I'm going to do all the time. Like, if there's a slight ease, I might be like, nah, I don't know. the wind's not the wind's not blowing the right way today. So never rain. I'm certainly not doing it in rain.
I wonder if you could rent one for a week and see what you think of it before you make the
That
decision to buy it.
a really solid idea. I bet if I went to a Woodcock or trying to think of what the other one's called, but those cycle places, maybe I'll just phone around tomorrow.
Yeah, like
So
put a
smart.
deposit down or something for, and yeah, try it
Good
out.
idea. I like it.
I have
I like it.
moments.
You do have so many of them, actually. Oh, and I'm getting a tattoo on Thursday.
Where are ya? What are you getting?
I'm gonna get that symbol from that shirt that I have,
Yeah,
Jordan. So the guy says he can do it, and so because did I tell you I tried to get it when I was in Edmonton at the West Edmonton Mall?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and she's like, her expression when I showed it to her, she's like, I'm like, nah, okay, you know what? I'm not comfortable with this. So this guy seems quite comfortable. I've seen a lot of his work. There's a lot of line work, so I'm hopeful that this will go smoothly. So that'll be nice and raw when I get off the plane on Friday.
Are you for
So
sure
that,
coming home?
pardon me.
Are you for sure coming home, or will you know
I
later?
I think so. So there was risk that I'd be extended, but it sounds like I'll probably be back near the end of May, and then almost I think it'll be quite a bit in June, and then it's actually supposed to slow down a bit in July and August, which is good, and then it'll be full time ish in September. So
Okay.
yeah.
Well, that's good because Brenda's leaving on Saturday for Thompson, Friday or Saturday for Thompson. She's going to be gone. And Chris and Troy are leaving on Sunday to head down to Winnipeg for their concert.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, so we were going to get together on Saturday, but Brenda's not going to be around, so you get to be Brenda and Angie, just like Brenda was Brenda and Angie last night.
Do a good job. How many
Uh,
layers did Brenda have on last night? I think our listeners want to know more
okay,
about
how many layers? Is that what you said?
that. Yeah.
Okay, so she came in, she's like, I forgot um to change out of my leggings into my sweats. So I only have my leggings on, but I did bring my insulated her outer like her fall spring pants, her
Yeah.
insulated ones.
Yeah.
So she's like, I did bring those, and then she did put on another jacket on top of her jacket with her hood up tied over her ball cap around her chin.
On her heat seat.
And then she had forgot, oh no, her heated seat that we got her had been buried in the garage. So she's like, I didn't dig it out, but I remembered, hey, I have my little heated seat that we have. So she brought that with her and plugged it in. And I was just like, I was wearing a ball cap, a t-shirt with a
Oh,
sweater on it. I didn't even have a hoodie on, and my sweats. I'm just like, now granted, it did get cold, but not like I wasn't dying. I could have
Yeah,
stayed
but
out there longer.
our listeners need to know that this is not uncommon. Like in the middle of the summer, like Brenda shows up with a giant duffel bag, not a duffel, but like one
No,
of those
she
big,
has her campfire bag.
yeah, like one of those hard-sided grocery bags.
Yeah,
It's got all of her extra clothing and then like all of the snacks.
and a
She's
blanket usually.
and a
She did
blanket. Yeah,
use the blanket last night. Yeah.
I love it. Okay, so next Saturday, got it.
Yeah.
Troy must be pumped. It's
Yeah,
gonna
I
be
think
a lot.
so. I think he and Chris were kind of hoping that you might still be down there because Chris was saying, "Oh, you and Angie could go to the shop together, the card shop together," and Tori was like, "Oh yeah, maybe."
Well, if I do end up being down here, then for sure. But I think I'm really hoping to get back home. If there's
Yeah.
any way around, and I'll be heading back. So I have made 2 card stops already, and yeah, so I'm doing all right on the card side of things.
Before this whole thing is done, you're going to have like a warning on your card, so the credit card company will call you going, "You told us not to let you shop here,
Yeah,
so we're
yeah.
canceling
Oh,
the charge."
it's oh, Roy's not listening, so it's good because yeah, it's going to be something to get used to too. Like I've done really good in terms of food down here, so I don't order in. Like I went and got groceries the first weekend I was here. I forgot today's Sunday because I'm off tomorrow and it's screwing me up. So I don't think I can go tonight, but I'll go tomorrow. So I'm not eating out a lot, but I'm certainly shopping. So I'll just have to be more cognizant of that. Just having things at your fingertips is a little bit.
It takes some
Just
getting used to.
Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And some self-control. Like, because when you go down for a week or two, it's like, oh, we're on holidays, like you've budgeted to spend this money because you're down, you're expecting to be eating out and trying the things that you haven't had in a long time. But when you're there for long term, it's like, oh, this is life now. I can't be doing that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
My whole table. Hold on one second. My whole gonna flip this around. Oh, I don't know if you can see that, and I don't know how to zoom with this, but
I
it's
see a
full of.
Sephora bag.
Yeah, I went to Sephora because I look really tired at 5 in the morning. So I'm like, can you? I legitimately, this is how this went down yesterday. This is a long opening, but I think people want to hear about this experience. I went into Sephora, and like, there's a billion people who work in there, and like 2.5 billion people who are shopping. It is the busiest store.
Absolutely.
So anyway, this really nice lady comes and she's like, "Can I help you?" I was like, "Yes." I'm like, one, I don't wear makeup. Two, I just see these bags. I would like to cover them. Three, I need you to just show me how to do it, and then I will buy the things you show me. And she's like, okay. So she was super good. She checked my skin tone or whatever, matched it up. She put it on my face. She's like, "Do you like which side?" I'm like, I don't know. They look the same. She's like, "Well, I would suggest this side." And I'm like, Okay. So it was a good experience. She was super helpful. I
Nice.
got some tint and I got some concealer for my under eyes and I got some lip gloss. And then I got some free gift for being there first. I don't know, or not first, like my first time shopping there. So that was exciting. Yeah.
Um, I remember one time, this is a few summers ago. One morning, I opened up the fridge and there's two spoons, no, one or two spoons sitting on the shelf in the fridge.
Uh,
And I'm like, what the hell? Like, who's leaving spoons in the fridge? So then I'm looking, thinking, like, were they eating something? There was no cutting. There was nothing really in the fridge that would require a spoon. And I'm like, all right. So then, I forgot to ask everybody about it that night when I came home. And then I think it was on the weekend when I opened the fridge, they were still there and everybody was around. I'm like, hey, what is with these spoons? And Gabby was like, oh, yeah, that's like when I get up in the mornings, I always look like really bad. My eyes are always puffy. So I put those on. And I was like, seriously? She's like, yeah, like it helps with the puffiness a lot. And I was like, oh, like it's just not something that I personally care about. But then for Christmas, I think I don't know if it was this year or the previous year, the kids, I think it was Lauren bought Gabby at Sephora, they actually have the one that you keep in your freezer and it's like stainless steel and you roll it. on your like your under eye and above your eye. And you just keep it in the freezer so it stays cold and you roll it and you just put it back in. So yeah, so when I was down in Winnipeg last time, I was pulling open the freezer and I'm like, what's this? And then Gabby's like, oh, that's my eye roller. I'm like, oh yes, I forgot about that. So yeah, my kids love Sephora. And Lauren particularly loves the makeup. I know that Gabby really likes their skincare stuff. She uses that, and some makeup. But something I forgot to mention is that Lauren was working the elections.
Oh,
So
yeah.
they were supposed to work like the advanced polling, they were supposed to work 2 days, two 12-hour days on Good Friday and Saturday. And then they ended up getting called on Sunday and asked, if they could come in because the people who were supposed to work didn't show. So they ended up working, I think, 9 hours on Sunday and another 12 on Monday. So they get paid $20 an hour. I'm assuming that they get overtime after 8 hours. And I'm assuming that they'll get overtime for working on Good Friday as well. Could be wrong because if they did it up like a contract or something, but the fact that they're paying them by the hour, I feel like they might have to. So we'll see. But so their whole plan is we were talking with grandma, like Chris's mom today, and Chris was saying, oh, yeah, like Lauren was working the election. So Lauren is telling Sue about it. And she's like, yeah, and I was making $20 an hour. And Sue's like, well, that's good. You're gonna make sure you're gonna save some of that money. And Lauren's like, yeah, over half of it is going into savings. And then Chris was like, well, what's happening with the other half? And she's like, makeup. Because whenever they go on Sephora online, like they have two or three things in their basket, and then they're like, it's like $300 because they
Mo-
get like some very high-end stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
my stuff must have been on the cheap side because I was like, ooh, $80 for all this stuff?
No,
What?
Lauren, there's certain stuff that they use that is, yeah, very expensive. So they're very
It's
excited to be able to have some like
damn
guilt-free spending money. Yeah.
that. Ooh, that's a
Hmm.
lot of hours in one weekend or a 4-day span. So that's
Yeah,
good.
they were pooped after.
Well, they did a good job. I voted, and I didn't feel like they were pressuring me one way or the other. So
That's good. Well, what also was funny, on Saturday, yeah, yesterday, Lauren says, we were talking, we were sitting there chatting, and they had said that like Elections Canada had been calling them throughout the week. I'm like, oh, for what? And they're like, I don't know, I didn't pick it up. I'm like, what is with teenagers nowadays that refuse to pick up the phone? And they're like, well, I was in class and I'm not supposed to have my phone, so I just, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. So then that was earlier on, and then about an hour or two later, we were sitting chatting again, and Lauren's phone starts ringing. They turn around to me and they hold up their phone, and I said, "What?" And they're like, "It's Actions Canada." I'm like, "Well, answer it." So they answered it, and they put it on speaker straight away because they're looking at me with like this panicked look in their face, right? And so the lady says, "Hi, can I speak to Lauren, please?" And Lauren says, "This is Lauren." And the lady says, "Hi, I'm just checking to see if you're going to be working the polling station on Monday." And Lauren's like, "Yeah, I'll be there." And she's like, "Oh, thank God." Like you could hear the relief in this woman's voice. And so, and then Lauren was just like, yeah, I'll be there. She's like, okay, good, good, good. She said, would it be okay if I sent you the electoral list? And Lauren said, okay. And she said, like, do you have access to email or a fax? And Lauren says, yeah, you can email me. And then she says, well, like, do you have access to a printer? Because if I give you the list, will you be able to print it off? And Lauren looks at me and I'm like nodding my head. And I'm like, yes, we have a printer. Or if I can, if not, I can take it to work. So then she says, oh, she says, but it will need to be on legal. Will you be able to print legal? And Lauren looks at me and I'm like, yes, you can print legal. Like, you can just print it at work. And so Lauren's like, yeah, yeah, I can do that. And she's like, oh, that's so great. Like, thank you so much. I'm going to be sending it to you like in the next half hour. Like, if you don't hear anything from me, say anything from me, please feel free to call me back. We need to make sure this gets done. So Lauren's like, yeah, no problem. So, yeah, so then we printed it off for them at the store and it was a fair amount. So it's essentially the electoral list, right? And then they cross off people who had been recorded as already have voted.
yeah.
So,
Hmm.
but yeah, it was interesting. So I don't know what's going on if they're worried about not having enough people for
That's
the
it.
day. But Lauren figures that over half the town already voted.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah, so although they did say that they had some guys coming in that were contractors that are not from Manitoba and were quite upset that they couldn't vote in Gillam because I guess they had talked to somebody and they said you can vote anywhere. But Lauren then had to explain to this gentleman, that one particular gentleman, anyways, that we're not a big enough polling station that you can vote for all of the areas. Like we just have the local district. If you want, you'd have to go to Thompson because they would have all of it because they're a major polling center. And he's like, well, that's a 7 hour drive round trip. Do you think I'm going to do that? And Lauren's like, well, it's up
I
to
guess
you if you want to do
so.
that. We can't help you right now.
This,
So when he and then again, obviously this is just his views, but he was like, well, if I don't vote, like he's like, I have to because like they're talking like Carney's going to get in. We can't let that happen. And so, and Lauren isn't a big Polyev fan, so Lauren was like, well, you gotta do what you
I can't help you.
gotta do. So yeah, I just laughed.
That is the big news, right? It's going to be interesting to see what happens after Monday. So, might be spending some time tomorrow just following the elections and see
Yeah.
what's. But well,
Well, we did a pretty good roundup there. Should we maybe take a break and come back?
sounds good.
Feeling stuck? At Coaching with Karen, we believe the answers you need are already within you. Whether it's life, wellness, or career guidance, Karen is here to help you uncover your path and move forward with confidence. Because a better tomorrow starts with the right support today. So visit us at coachingwithkaren@gmail.com to take your first step, and that's coaching with a K.
Welcome back.
Oh yeah, welcome back. I forgot I hit record. God.
Just for venting now. It's not
Yeah.
even a podcast anymore. All right. Take it away, buddy.
All right, so I had a text from my sister-in-law, my amazing sister-in-law, Jen, on
Hello, Jen.
uh was it Thursday, Friday, one day last week. And she said, Karen, you have to watch this show. It's funny, and I think you have to watch it with Brenda and Angie because they'll appreciate it too. So she said the name of it was Small Achievable Goals, and it was on CBC. So
Brilliant.
yeah, so I looked it up and then I forwarded it on to you guys. And then we talked about it and we said that maybe we would watch a few episodes and talk about what we thought of it today.
Yeah.
So I got up early this morning to watch a few episodes. And when I say
Fun.
I got up early, I got up shortly after 9 on a Sunday.
That's that's early Sunday. I
Yeah.
watched it last before bed. So yeah. How many episodes did you watch this morning?
4, I think. Minimum of 3. It might have been 4. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I couldn't remember either. It's 3 or 4 for sure.
Yeah.
So I should have pulled this up, and I still can't. I've got my laptop beside me. So it is Canadian,
Yep.
right? It's got some great Canadian talent in it. Cannot think of her name off the top of my head. So if you want to fill in and chit chat about it, I'm gonna pull up who's in it here.
Yeah, so I recognize a lot of the actors, but well, not a lot of actors. Like the two main ladies, especially the one I recognize, and then there's a few others that their faces I recognize, but I don't know their names. I'm terrible, even if they're famous, like internationally, not just regionally. I probably wouldn't know their name. But yeah, it was about this one woman who's a bit of a TikToker. Uh, she's done well with her makeup glows, and so this guy brings her in and wants to start a podcast centered around her TikTok followers. And then she meets the podcast. I guess it's a company that does a bunch of different podcasts, so it has its own studio
Yeah.
and whatnot. Um, yeah, so then this other woman who's kind of been the what's that? What do you call that show? Like the
It was big something ideas.
yeah, but not even the name of it. What do you call when you have something that's your cornerstone? Like when it comes to TV, if you watch any of those newsroom TV shows, it's the anchor show, like it's the networks. Oh my God. Anyways, it was that. It was like the anchor show, and she had been doing it for years, I guess. And then there was a promotion becoming available, and she got passed over again. And then yeah, that all kind of happened in the first start of the first episode.
Yeah.
Did you find their names?
So, the person who I recognized, or the two, were the two main characters. So Meredith McNeil plays the glow up lady from TikTok who's just getting started with this podcast company. And I recognize her, and I'm pretty sure Jennifer Wallen, who is the other woman, from Baroness Von's sketch show. And
Sketch, yeah.
I really, really like that show.
Oh, that was so funny. Now, were
Yeah.
they the same women that did Working Moms?
No, so Working Moms are different. I actually thought, though, the guy that Jennifer Wallen is married to, for a second, I thought he was the husband from Working Moms who ended up cheating on the main character.
Oh, yeah.
But it
Yeah.
doesn't look like it. I'm looking. So that's John Doerr, and he's a Canadian comedian. But I'm not seeing Working Moms under his list of
Because
shows or.
that's also a great Canadian show.
Yes, if you haven't watched Working Moms, you have to. And that's another one of my ADD don't finish shows. I have not finished it. I love it. I would watch the beginning again. I don't know if I could bring myself to watch the end for whatever reason. Looks like he was on Canadian Idol. I wonder if he hosted it or something. But yeah, so the other person who I really enjoyed on that show was Trisha Black. So that's her real name. I cannot remember what her character's name is in the show, but she is the she's wearing glasses. She got shortcut hair. She's a little heavier set.
Oh, she's like the producer of the other show?
Yeah, she
Yeah.
works in a sound booth while they're recording.
Yeah.
I found her. I don't know. It was just how she reacted to things and some of her remarks. I really enjoyed her.
Yeah.
But anyway, maybe what I'll do is I can read off what they do to summarize the show, if that makes any sense, and then people have an idea of what kind of show we're talking about. We have gone into the fact that it is Canadian. So it's a new comedy following Chris and Julie, two wildly different women, on an unpredictable journey of transformation as they battle menopause, midlife, and making a podcast together. And that, I think, it's short and sweet, but it really is a pretty good account of what is going on. Now, I mean, they obviously have their own idiosyncrasies to their characters that add some interesting situations.
Yeah.
The period one or the bleeding just hits so close to home. Like my whole 4 or 5 days a month is just a living hell of worrying that I'm gonna, and I never wear white ever, just in case, right? But when she had to put on that white dress and then she grabbed the banana.
Oh, and I just felt like my heart just went out to her so much because, like, I mean, having, I think in the show she's supposed to be what, 44, 45 or something. So her periods are kind of gone all wonky. And I've noticed that, yeah, like I can have like crazy, crazy heavy periods where it's just like, what the hell? How am I still alive kind of thing? But yeah, and then not have any for 6 months, but that's just the time of life I'm in. But yeah, so I really did feel for her because I remember being at a conference in Saskatoon, and we would walk to where the conference was being held because it was like 3 city blocks. It wasn't far, and so we would always walk there. And I got my period while I was there. And I always have, a tampon and liners and whatnot in my bag. So I did. I went to the bathroom, caught it in time. But what I wasn't prepared for was how heavy it was. And the fact that I was there all day, running back and forth to the bathroom, just like I'm like, and then worried about how am I going to get back to the hotel? Like I have to stop and get something. So I remember there was a mall on the way back to the hotel. So I walked to it and then just got like heavy duty freaking everything from Shoppers. It was like I walked out of there with like bags of shit, and I was in town for 2 days. I was just like, this,
Like,
I cannot have this embarrassment. But I mean,
no,
and
it's not
that's the
stress.
really horrible thing, you know. But what I did notice this time when I went to the conference, the same place I walked to it, and the ladies, whoever was taking care of the conference was obviously had some good understanding of feminine issues and had a lovely basket set
That,
up with tampons, pads, band-aids, deodorant, mouthwash. There was a few brand new toothbrushes in there. Yeah, so, and it was just there, and then they just took it away, at the end of the day, because I was actually there when they were bringing it back in the next morning. So it wasn't the conference center, it was actually the guys putting it on. So
that's considerate. I
yeah.
don't understand why these things aren't free, right? So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
similar to, well, whatever. Like, I mean, again, it's not a male bashing show, but if males had this, I'm sure it'd be free, right? Or you could
Yeah.
get it Medicaid or
Yeah.
healthcare. It should just be something that is the norm. But the way she handled, I was part of it. Like, I laughed a lot. There's no doubt about it. Some of it's just so bizarre. When she ripped her pants off, she put the diaper on. Like, I mean, oh my god, it was quite entertaining. I,
Yeah.
so, I mean, we're kind of jumping around, and I don't think we'll go episode by episode. But the one scene that really got me, and I almost cried because it was I don't know. I guess it resonated with me. Is when the doctor was just like, "Here's what's
Normal.
happening. You're fine." Like, yeah, it's totally normal. And she had waited so long at some point,
Yeah. Yes.
and then like, yeah, to be told that you need, like, her, obviously her buddy there tells her that she has to advocate for herself, but like, I don't know why it has to be such a I don't want to say effort, but like, why do we have to be so aware of having to advocate? Why aren't people just listening? Like, she had taken notes about things that were going on, and
Mm-hmm.
just, it's totally normal. Move on with your day type thing, right?
Yeah, no, that's, you know, and maybe it is normal, but don't dismiss me without at least checking, you
Yeah,
know? Like, I remember being so defeated. I had to go, and this is a number of years ago. I was talking to the doctor about how, like, my periods just don't stop. Like, I might stop the blood, but like I have brown stuff until the blood starts again. Like this can't be right,
yeah,
like. And so they sent me to see the gynecologist, and yeah, and it was like a traumatic experience looking back on it now. But like she says, do you mind? The student came and did the workup on me first, and then when she came in and we were going through everything, she says, "Okay, we're going to have to do an exam." She said, "Do you mind if?" The student does it. And I'm like, yeah, sure. Because she's like, I'm right here. I'm like, okay. Well, the young fella did not know how to properly insert a speculum. And so I tried telling them, like, oh, that hurts. Like, it's not in right. It's not in right. And he was like, I think. And she's like, no, he's good. I'm like, no, no, it's not. Because as they proceed to open it, I'm like, it's definitely not. So then she kind of got in and then she took over and fixed it. So that was fine. But then she goes up, and so I guess she wants to get a scraping of the uh whatchamacallit, inside the cervix or whatever. And yeah, it was hugely painful. Like I was in tears asking her to stop. And she's like, "Oh, just one more second," and she kept on going. And like this is a woman doing this to me. And then like when she was done, I literally was crying. And she said, "Yeah," she says, uh yeah, we normally will put women to sleep who've never had given natural birth, or we put them on anesthetic under anesthetic if they haven't given natural birth. And because my cervix never opened because I had all the kids were by C-section, and the reason they were C-section is because my cervix wouldn't open. So yeah, she forced it.
then
Yeah, and she knew that. Because she
that's
says, oh, she says, let's just see, did it? And then when we're done, yeah, we probably should have put you under anesthetic. And then I was just like, I was in shock at that point. And then she holds up the little specimen jar and she's got the scrapings in there and she says, yeah, they look fairly normal to me. And she says, but we'll send them off for testing. And then I remember going back to Jill, and I'm like, I told her about what a horrible experience it was, and she obviously was mortified, and I don't know what more could be done. But then she says, well, what did she say? And I said, she said it looked normal. If there was any issues, that she would let you know. And so then Jill is looking at the report, and she's like, I'm really sorry, Karen, but it looks like this is your normal. And I'm like, okay, so I just have to live with this. Like, and she was like, yeah. And I was just like, yeah, okay. Now, I guess that, some people that is your normal. But it's just, why? Why is it my normal? Like, is there not something else that we could be doing to look to see, does Karen have to put up with this shit? Like,
Well,
is there
or
something we can do for it?
the fact that it's your normal means it's abnormal,
Yeah,
right? It's
to
not.
everybody else.
No,
It's my
yeah.
normal. Because she, by saying it's my normal, means that it's okay, like there's nothing wrong with you, but like you're different from everybody else, like. And I was just like, I'm not happy about this. And it never, like, it never changed. Now that I think I'm closer to the actual menopause, it's starting. I don't have the same issues, but I had that for years.
That's not right. That you have to
Yeah,
just live with it, work around it.
yeah.
No,
I hate that sometimes I hate when they say, "Oh, that's just menopause," and then I hate when they're like, I hate the opposite of it. You know what I mean? Like, I hate that you blame menopause for everything, because it feels like whatever you're experiencing is just, well, it's just menopause, like no big deal, right?
oh,
Everybody has to do it. Like 50% of the population has to go through it. But I feel like that takes away from what I'm actually dealing with,
yeah.
like yeah, so I hate it both ways. I don't know. Yeah, you're not there yet.
No, I'm not. Not yet.
No,
I mean, I'm 45.
creeps up in you fast.
Yeah, looking forward to it. A lot of good times. Um, Back to the show.
Oh yeah, that's what we're talking about.
So, unless you have things that stuck with you, I had two other things I thought I would touch on.
Right.
The strap-on scene, I felt wasn't well funny. I just felt it was like really forced. Like, especially
Yeah,
when her head was near it, I was just like,
yeah,
okay.
yeah,
But I just love that she was spent like $1,700 on his shit in the sex toy store. That was pretty.
yeah. When all
And then
she had was $5 or something and a dime.
and then she dropped it in the toilet. Oh, when the girl came in when she was washing it, she whipped it. I thought that was pretty.
Yeah.
But then the other thing that stood out to me, and please let me know if this caught your attention, how small the bed is for the main character and her husband. They like sleep on a double.
How did I not notice that?
I don't know, but it was all I could fixate on. I was just like, why? Why are you sleeping on a double? You seem to have a nice house. You can afford things. Afford a bigger mattress, right?
Maybe
And
the
she's,
room's not suited to it.
pardon me.
Maybe they'd have no room if they put in a queen bed.
Oh, you know what, Karen? No. And then she's overheating all the time. Can you imagine sleeping that close to somebody while overheating? No.
No, no.
I also thought her husband was incredibly understanding.
Yeah, he's not the norm.
Like
I
when he,
mean, I'd love if he was. And don't get me wrong, I'm sure all of our hubbies have moments of that kind of understanding, but like he just seemed like to be cut from a different cloth, that guy.
he was just okay with everything. Like, what's that? Like, oh, the kid took the vibrator to school. No big deal. Oh, you bought a strap on at the sex store? Like, that seems like something different than what we normally do. Just totally okay with everything. You know what? I mean, I'm sure there's people over.
Yeah.
Overall, I think I'd give it a 7 so far out of 10.
Yeah, yeah, I do agree that there was moments that were very forced. Um, I completely agree with that. But I find a lot of times, sometimes with what the hell?
Whoa,
I
65%.
find often that with shows starting out early, sometimes they try too hard until they find their footing, and then they feel more confident in, in who they are as a show or whatever. But yeah, no, I think if anybody has access to CBC, you can get it through the Gem app.
Yes.
It's free. Although I have to say, even though the app is free, God, there's a lot of
I
commercials.
was thinking about that last.
Holy
I feel like
shit.
when I was a kid again. Like I could
Yeah.
run, go to use the washroom, come back, and then I mean, it's free, so I don't complain because Prime pisses me off.
Yeah, you
Prime
pay
has
for
like
it and you're and get
a
commercials.
load of commercials. Yeah, exactly, and you
Yeah.
pay. So, but yeah, recommend it. I would love to hear what our listeners have to think about it. Um, yeah, I mean, I think I'm gonna finish it. It looks like the finale episode is out for
Yes,
this
I saw
season.
that. Yeah.
So I'll probably finish watching it maybe, I don't know, the week while I'm down here. And then, yeah, see if there's a second season that comes out.
Yeah, I hope it does.
Yeah,
I think it'd be good. And just watch going through the Gem app there, like when they're showcasing stuff now. There's a ton of programming that's
they're really
Canadian
good.
content that looks really good.
Yeah. And that's where all of Schitt's Creek is, because I was kind of
Yeah.
surprised Netflix only brought 3 seasons of it back.
Oh,
And,
okay.
but that they have all of it. So that's what we're going to put on because the kids were pissed because I was like, oh, let's rewatch Schitt's Creek. And then, yeah, at the end of season 3, that was that. So
Yeah. Oh,
we'll
and
watch.
that's so worth watching too.
That's a 10 out of 10.
Yeah,
Every
yeah. The kids and I were watching the Last of Us, and so there's only 2 episodes out. So when I'm done here now, it should be close to 8 o'clock, and then we'll go down because we're watching the episode that's released tonight. It only releases at 9 Eastern. So oh wait, 9 Eastern is oh yeah, it's 8 us. I thought I was gonna go the other way for a second. But yeah, so we watched the episode. I'm not spoiling it because anybody who follows um the show knows that one of the main characters dies in this episode. So we were going to watch it yesterday or Friday, and Lauren was like, I don't have enough emotional, like I can't do it. This will destroy me. So we're like, well, how about we watch it on Sunday so we can watch it knowing he's going to pass, and then we have the next episode to kind of occupy us and help us get over it. And Laura's like, okay, we can do this. We're like, okay, we know it comes out on Sundays. So then this afternoon we settled down to watch it. And then, but as we open it up, the third episode's not there. And Laura's like, whoa, 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 like I
I'm not
can't,
anymore.
I don't know if I can do this. So then we Googled it, found out it's released at 9 or 8 our time. So we're like, okay, we'll watch it, have supper, do whatever, and then we can watch it before we go to bed. So I'm like, okay. So that was fine. But Lauren, the whole time was just like, I can't even look at the TV. I'm on my phone. I feel like Gabby. Gabby does this when she gets worked up, and it's like, let's pretend the TV's not on. I know what's happening, and I'm gonna not ignore it because if I don't acknowledge it, then it's not happening.
That's like
But he
forced to me.
died. He died, and it was, and yeah, we all cried. So
Do you
now
know
we have
that
to.
it was a male character that died, or did you just spoil that for people?
No, I'm sure. I mean, anybody who follows it, like I knew about it, and I don't play the game, and I haven't. Like,
I watch it
yeah.
or
It was spoiled for me on Facebook on was it Tuesday or Wednesday because there was a picture that said um need to stop time, or what did it say? Something about like can't believe we just lost these two greats today. And it was a picture of the Pope. It was a picture of Pedro Pascal. And I was like, oh my God, Pedro Pascal died. So I was like Googling it. No, no, no. His character Joel died
so did
on
you
The
just
Last
ruin
of Us. I don't care.
it? Oh my god, we can put a disclaimer on this.
Well, we can if we
Well, it's
need
gonna come out
to.
though after the episode though, right?
Yes. Oh, yeah. The episode has been out for a week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
People are really devoted, they'll have already seen it.
absolutely. Yeah. But yeah, it was good.
Great. Well, that's our that's our spiel about that show. So you
Which I don't think I spent a whole lot of time on the show, to be fair.
spent no time on it. No, it was me, not a fucking like. Now I'm kind of did she watch the show, or just have me watch it And then she just threw in her own analogies to fill shit in.
Which I made you promise we wouldn't do.
Small achievable goals, CBC Gem, check it out.
Yeah.
No, we get no
Absolutely, 100%.
kickback, so it's legit.
All right. So we'll come
So-
back for
Okay.
our next go. And
Yeah.
here we go, Karen. We know the button to press. You just have to press it more than once to turn this thing off.
Looking for something truly unique? Discover Fuse Muse Fused Glass, where art meets light in dazzling color. From fused glass supplies to one-of-a-kind materials for glass artists and mosaic makers, we bring your creative visions to life. Jewelry makers, artists, and mosaic lovers stand out with our exclusive designs. Shop online today at www.fusemusefuseglass.com. That's www.fusemusefuseglass.com. Or visit us on Instagram and Facebook for inspiration. Fuse Muse Fuse Glass, where creativity shines.
Welcome back, Two Bored Ladies. So our first two sections kind of went long, so I think we'll probably do a little bit of chat and then wrap her up. So it'll be just a three.
Wrap her up.
Wrap it up.
With
So-
the rice paper wrapper.
I do like me some rice paper. I had so many. Oh my god, I forgot what they're called. Not spring rolls when we were in South Asia, and then we took a spring roll lesson somewhere on the cruise ship, I think. And yeah, it was the rice paper. And then when I found out that it was the rice paper that the co-op carries, the right stuff, I'm like, I'm gonna make spring rolls all the time, and I've only done it twice since we came back, which sucks.
Yeah, I know. I've only known about it once, just saying. Because I did happen to be given some, but
Yeah, I'm gonna do it again. We'll do a Southeast Asian night, and then we'll do a. I want to do an Egyptian night too, because I really like the falafels and other foods that we had.
there's a really good falafel place in Winnipeg. Have you been?
No, where is it?
The Falafel House. It's on Corridon. Julia Roberts ate there.
Who?
Julia Roberts. And so they were trying to get in, and the place was packed. And the owner, the older guy, says, I'm sorry, if you come back in half an hour, we'll be able to take you in. And then the waitresses were like, do you not realize who that was? And he was like, no. And they're like, that was Julia Roberts. And he's like, well, I've got no room. She's coming back in 20 minutes.
For them. Did they come back?
And she came back, and the family thoroughly enjoyed their meal and signed a couple of autographs.
Right on. How do you know this?
It's, interweb and famous Winnipeg. No, actually, I think it was Viv probably told us, because she was the one that took us there the first time, and it's very good for breakfast. And yeah, and then so there was a newspaper article about it, and she told us about it. So
Right. So I think what might be exciting is to tell our listeners what we have planned for some upcoming episodes, because we won't lie, and I think it's a good time to be honest, Karen. We don't properly prepare for this, and some episodes might be better than other episodes.
the ones we don't prepare for are probably better.
Yeah, well, I would say like this one, I don't know if I feel proud today. Yeah, really.
Okay.
And this is probably the most prep I did. I watched 4 episodes of a show and took notes.
Well, okay. So our plan is, other than the fugitive thing, which I haven't yet begun work on, I'm going to have to start my ass on that. But is that we are going to choose a show or a movie, I guess,
Yep.
that we know the other person has not watched, but it's something that we enjoy for whatever
It
reason.
doesn't have to be something we enjoy.
Oh no!
It's just we're tasking them to watch this show.
Oh, that changes up the whole tone of this.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Mm.
okay. All right.
No, so what do we have to do after we assign the show?
Oh yeah, so we have to promise to watch it and not allow AI to summarize it for us, so that we
Yeah.
can come forward with our own opinions and what we thought of it, whether we enjoyed it, whether we hated it, and if we'll continue watching it or recommend it or whatever. And so we're each going to take a turn with giving each other something to do.
Yeah, like I think it might be fun where if we came back and we provided the most succinct, I'm just looking back at the thing I said, the most succinct summary possible to make it sound enticing, but then people well, I guess that wouldn't work. I was gonna say then people have to try to guess what it is, but that won't work. But I think if we our task is to come back with a way to make it sound enticing. And then based on that review, the other person has to guess whether or not you liked it.
Okay. All right, so we're coming back to give a review to our listeners, and then the other person, either one of us, has to say, okay, you liked it or you didn't.
Yeah, we have
What
to
do we
try
get if we're right?
I don't know. It's not a bad.
What? If we're,
High five.
trying to guess something, $5, is that what he said?
High five.
Five, $5. Fuck, that won't buy you much nowadays.
No. Gets you a vibrator though on that show. Little one. Little bullet. I don't know. We'll think about that. Is
Yeah.
that fair? Okay.
Yeah, no, that sounds good. I saw a funny meme recently where there was a young fella looked like he was getting his first communion or something, and he was sitting, and the priest walked by and was came up to him and was doing the blessing, each hand out, with the hand out like this while he was holding whatever prayer he was reading out, and the kid high-fived him.
Love
And
it.
the priest just kind of looked and just continued on, and then the kid realized what he did. So you could see him look over at the camera, which I'm guessing is his parent, and he's like, "Ooh."
Also,
It was so cute.
I love the priest that just kept
Yeah.
going. Oh, I
Yeah.
forgot to mention in my week in review, I picked up my mom for shopping yesterday, and I had the podcast playing, and my mom's like, "Is that you on the thing?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's our podcast. You have a podcast?" I'm like, "Oh my god, how does one listen to a podcast?" I was like, I don't know if I even want to get into trying to help you figure this out, but perhaps when I come down again, I can show her how to get on and she can actually listen to it because she sounded really excited once she heard the voice come through a speaker.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
Well,
so
my
it'll
mom
be
was in hospital for just over a week.
your home, dude.
She's home now and she's doing okay. Um, the problem is they wanted to do an MRI on her, but they didn't know for 100%. So mom had surgery a number of years ago when she was living in Alberta in Camrose. She had surgery. She had like oh, I don't remember what it was called, but she had this very intense nerve pain in her jaw, and it would go off, and she like it would just be horrendous pain. And they say that raw nerve pain is one of the worst pains you can have. And so this would happen. So they tried a couple of things, but they ended up going in, and it was like a laser knife surgery, but they actually took out a piece of her skull behind her ear, and they went down and they killed the nerve so that it wouldn't keep doing. Well, that was the plan of it. Or no, no, sorry, that was one of the things they were going to do. But what they ended up being able to do is they put this little thing underneath it, like a piece of whatever that lifts up the nerve so that it's not touching whatever it was that was causing the pain, right? So it's like this little spacer. So they went in and did this, and she's essentially been like she's had some moments, but for the most part she's been doing well since. But when they were going through her medical history, thinking, wanting to check if she had this blood clot they wanted to do an MRI. They couldn't verify if whatever they used as a spacer was metallic or not, and so they couldn't
Oh,
put her through the MRI in the fear that it was metallic. So they're trying to get a hold of her files in, like mom had brought some like her medical files home with her, obviously, but like not every detail of all of that kind of stuff. So now they're trying to get a hold of the surgeon to figure out if they can actually do the MRI on her. But her blood pressure is good, everything's all right. She's home, and put her in, and she immediately was outside in the garden, like doing her
yeah.
flowers and all that kind of stuff. So but
Um,
yeah, so they're behind now because dad was like, we've got a few episodes to catch up on now. So I don't even think that mom might have heard the one where we were talking about our women we admire, because I keep waiting for her reaction to that one. But this all went down around the same time that this one came out. So we'll see what she has to say about that, because I don't think she'd see that coming. But yeah, anyway, so there I go, stealing it again. You and your mom are having a moment. You should just tell her to watch it on YouTube.
I
Everybody can get on YouTube.
did.
Yeah,
You've met my mom, right? I mean, I
I
love my
have. But
That
your
was good.
dad could.
Pardon me?
Your dad could.
My dad could, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. All right. Well, you'll find out when they do because you'll be getting a call.
Yes, because I still haven't told them. So I just using this podcast is how I can now communicate with my family moving forward.
All of your life issues come out in the podcast. So, family in Ireland, I'm pregnant. Just kidding. As an aside, this is how we share all our big news now. If you're not listening to the podcast, you do get to part to be of my life.
Exactly, but I still expect a gift, so
Absolutely. All right, so we should be signing off. What did we say we were saying?
안녕히 가세요.
Oh,
안녕히 가세요.
안녕히
oh,
가세요.
안녕히 가세요. Yeah, 안녕히 가세요. Yeah, sorry. I thought you had the pronunciation on the wrong syllable. Emphasis. Emphasis.
I love that you're critiquing my Korean with all your experience.
I don't think that's Korean.
It
Isn't
is
that?
Korean.
I thought we were doing Bengali.
No, you talked about Bengali. You never found goodbye. And then I looked up Korean and I was like, 안녕히 가세요. And you're like,
Oh my
okay.
God. So when your thing started playing, 안녕히 가세요, I was clicking it on the Bengali one and I thought that that's what was playing. Genuinely.
Well, tune in next week.
For the real Bengali. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good.
All right.
Love you, Ange. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Attention collectors and enthusiasts looking for the ultimate custom collectibles? It's Patch Madness. Custom trading cards for sport to non-sport, relic cards, and even stickers. If you can dream it, we can create it. Reach out today at twoboredladies24@gmail.com for your personalized masterpiece. Patch Madness, where your passion becomes a card. Angie and Karen want to recognize that this episode was recorded on traditional indigenous lands and was brought to you by In My Parents' Basement Studios. Thank you for listening, and I hope you guys have a great night.
Hatch plans that we'll never see. Frozen hair and a frosty kiss. In the ice, our secrets twist. Talking about dreams.